Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to start a new series of videos that will be CI/CD using GitHub Actions. So there are multiple tools for CI/CD that we are going to use, like they are Jenkins, uh, GitHub Actions, Circle CI, AWS Code Pipeline, and Azure Pipelines. So in this series of videos, we are going to talk about GitHub Actions. So how we are going to use GitHub Actions to perform CI/CD. So coming to the CI/CD introduction part, what is a CI/CD? So CI/CD stands for continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment. So basically, it's a set of practices that helps developers deliver code changes more frequently and reliably and automatically. So think of it as an assembly line for software development. So instead of doing everything manually, CI/CD automates the step between starting from writing the code and running it to production. So let me talk about in details about the stages what we are going to use in CI/CD. So let me talk about code stage. So this is where developers write new features or fix bugs in their local environment. So the code is then pushed to a shared repository like GitHub. So basically, if a developer he want to fix bugs or he wants to introduce new features in his in the program, so basically he will be testing in his local machine first. Then he will be pushing that code to a centralized repository that is a like GitHub. So for every push or pull request becomes a trigger for the CI/CD pipeline. So whenever there is a push in the, let's say in a repository, that becomes a trigger to start the CI/CD pipeline. So why it matters? So this ensures that everyone's changes are continuously integrated with the main code base. So this is with respect to code stage. So talking about the next stage, that is build stage. So once the code is pushed, the CI/CD system automatically compiles or builds the application. So basically, whenever there is a push in the code, so this CI/CD pipeline, what it does is automatically compiles or build the application based on the what type of configuration we have made in our CI/CD pipeline. So for example, for a Java project, Maven or Gradle. So basically these are the build tools used in a Java project for .jar, for creating a .jar. So for Node.js, so it installed dependencies. Sometimes this also includes packaging into a Docker image. So basically, this stage it includes for building a Docker image. So why this matters is if the code can't build, it is caught immediately before moving forward. So basically, if there is any issue with respect to building of the code or packaging of the code, that is has been caught immediately before moving forward to the next step. So the third stage will be test stage. So automated tests are run against the build applications. Like for example, unit tests, integration tests, so lint checks or security scans. So this ensures the new code doesn't break existing functionality. So this one. So why this matters? Because testing early saves time and reduces bugs for reaching the production. So the next stage what we're going to talk is deploy. So once tests are passed, the application can be deployed automatically to a server. Let's say it is a cloud environment or container platform like Kubernetes. So here we are having two things. One is continuous delivery, one is continuous deployment. So let me talk about continuous delivery. The pipeline prepares everything for deployment, but a human approves before releasing. So this is called a continuous delivery. So what is a continuous deployment? The pipeline deploys automatically with no manual intervention. So like why this matters is new features reach users fastly and more reliably. So overall, why CI/CD matters? In brief, what you can say that without CI/CD, developers manually test and deploy, which is slow and which is error prone and inconsistent. So with CI/CD, every code change is automatically verified and can safely go live in minutes. So what is the result for this? It's the result is like faster feedback, higher quality, and quick releases. So basically, coming to the GitHub Actions. So GitHub Actions is a tool that allows us to define and run this entire pipeline. So directly inside the GitHub. So every time when we push the code, GitHub Actions can build, test, and deploy automatically for you. So basically, it saves times, reduces human errors, and integrates seamlessly with developers' workflow. So that's CI/CD in a nutshell. So basically, code, build, test, and deploy. It is the backbone of modern DevOps practices. And in next session, we will see how GitHub Actions makes this process really easy to set up. So guys, as you can see, I am in my GitHub repository. So to start a demo with the GitHub Actions, we need to create a GitHub repository first. So let me create a repository. So I am in my GitHub account. So here I click to create a new repository. So basically, what we will be giving name for this repository. Let me give as GitHub Actions demo repository. So what and all pipelines and the things we are going to continue in this series will be in this particular repository. So give it a name and keep everything as it is and click on create repository. So as you can see, the repository has been created. So as you can see, I am in my VS Code where I have cloned the repository what we have created, that is GitHub Actions demo here. So as you can see, this is a GitHub Actions demo repository. So we have cloned that repository. So to start the GitHub Actions workflow, we have to create a particular folder, that is .github, in this particular repository, and in that we have to create workflows. In that we have to write our GitHub Actions workflow file. So let me create .github folder. So this is a .github folder. In that we have to, sorry, this is a file. In that we have to create a folder workflows. So in this particular folder we have to create our workflow file. So let me give the name of that particular file, that is hello.yml. So basically, workflow files are nothing but they are YAML files which are in a particular repository. So each workflow will have a name. So if you don't give the name, so it will come a path of that particular file in your GitHub Actions that we will see. So let me start with giving the name to my workflow. So basically it's a YAML file. So I will write name. So name of the file, workflow file, I will give hello GitHub Actions. So this is the name of your workflow file. So a repository can have multiple workflow files. So those things we can look in upcoming videos. So after the name, I will start with on. So basically this is a thing where when our GitHub Actions workflow file or our CI/CD should get triggered. So here we will be mentioning on. So on, it may be like we can use push, or if you are using manual, you can write workflow dispatch, or we can say that we can use multiple things here. One is cron zap scheduler. So using scheduler, cron scheduler, we can use. So I will write on push here. So whenever there is a push in my repository on a branch, so this pipeline should trigger. So this is with respect to when our pipeline is going to trigger. So coming to the next important part, that is job. So basically jobs are the building components in our GitHub Actions file. So we can have multiple jobs in our workflow file. So jobs, so every job will be having will be running on a separate runner. So what is a runner? We will talk about this. So after this we can write the name of the job. So this job will be having a name. So the name I will be giving, say hello. So this is the name of this particular job what we are going to execute. So as I said, we will be having multiple jobs in our pipeline. So this is the name of our job. So after this, we will be using runs on. So this is the name of the jobs. After this, I will be writing runs on. So on which particular host this job should run. So we will be having different two types of runners. One will be GitHub hosted and one will be self hosted. So For GitHub hosted, I will use runs on Ubuntu latest. So basically, what and all commands I am going to execute in this particular workflow or in this particular CI/CD, that will be running on a Ubuntu latest machine, which will be hosted by the GitHub Actions. So basically, the GitHub Actions will be giving me the Ubuntu latest runner to run my particular command. So we are having other thing, that is self-hosted runner. So we can use our bare metal servers or virtual EC2 VMs. So those things also we can use as an runner. So that will be self-hosted runner. So but in GitHub hosted runners, a lot of things will be coming pre-installed, let's say Docker and all those things. But in self-hosted, we have to do the thing. So coming to the next thing, that is steps. So what are steps? Steps are basically individual tasks that make up the jobs. So this job will be having a runner. So in that runner, we will be having multiple steps. So step will be having let will be set step will be having name. So name of the step we will be having. So let me give print get greetings. So this is the name of that particular step. So after that, I will be writing the command to execute in that particular step. So as of now, we will use run. So we are having actions, all these things. We will be talking about these things in the upcoming video. So you will be using run. So basically, this will execute a command in my runner. So run echo hello GitHub Actions. So basically, this comprises of a simple workflow YAML file to run a CI/CD in my GitHub Actions. So after doing this, so as I have used the push this thing. So why I am seeing all the because all these things are popping up, because I have installed the GitHub Actions extension. So basically, that will be helpful for us to write the pipeline. So we will be getting things, or why it is used for all those things auto populated, and it will be helping us to write the pipeline also. So this is the use case of our extension. So you can also install this extension in your VS Code. So as you can see, it is auto populating in the sense it is giving the details of the things what I have written. So that is the thing. So as we have written the file, so because it is on push, the pipeline should trigger on push. So let me commit these things. So first workflow, I will give the name first workflow. After this, I will commit and push this workflow file. So basically, by doing this, my pipeline should get triggered in my GitHub Actions. So as you can see, it is getting committed and pushed on my main branch. So on push, it should get triggered. So let me go to my GitHub. So there only I can see the uh, GitHub Actions pipeline, whether it is triggered or not. So I will go to Actions here in my repository. So as you can see in the Actions tab, so the name of the workflow CI/CD, that is GitHub Actions. Name of the workflow came here. So as I said, we will be having multiple workflow we can. So this is the first workflow on a commit. So that is the workflow. So on that we are having a job. So it was say hello job. I will click on that. So this is the first step, that is setting up the job. So this gives all the details about the runner versions, all those things. So this is the step what we have used to run echo hello GitHub action that has been completed. So using Ubuntu latest. So this is the thing, guys. So this is the thing with respect to GitHub Actions, or writing a GitHub Actions workflow. So in the upcoming videos, we will continue with this thing. So till then, like guys, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and keep supporting, guys. Thank you.